Hey guys, welcome back to another episode
Oh
of
my
Nerd
gosh!
This is our second take, and he's like, "Yo, you're so."
He
quiet."
accidentally started it at 3 seconds, so that take is gone. But he was like, "Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerd." I was like, "What is wrong with you? What the what?"
Actually, surprised. That was all part of the master plan to prank you.
Yes, because that's what a prank is. Totally. It's not just you being quiet. Totally.
I'm not socially and psychologically insane.
I don't think that's a category. Okay. You know, we'll roll.
Anyway, this is Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Zombie, also known as Seth. You're Junior Wolf, also known as.
Am I though? Am I Junior Wolf? Or maybe we're all.
Or you
Junior
are
Wolf.
Wolf Junior.
We are Junior Wolf.
Your last name's actually Wolf. You're JJ Wolf Jr.
Yeah, totally. Anyways. So
we're switched to the page a bit today.
Yeah.
After doing some Marvel.
No, we did not just do Marvel. We just did Fortnite.
I'm not saying like last episode, but like so far we've done Marvel. Like when we're talking about media,
Oh yeah.
we've done like 3 or 4 episodes, kind of. I guess Spider-Man's Marvel.
Yeah.
So we've done like 3 or 4, I think,
Yeah.
on Marvel or so. We're switching up, and we're going to.
We're gonna talk about DC for once. Probably the only episode we'll ever do.
Yeah, probably.
So, and for those of you that don't know, neither of us are big DC people. We know like the baselines, and we've seen clips and stuff.
We
here
know
and there.
Superman's a guy. We know Batman's a guy, and
Yeah.
we know they don't like each other sometimes.
We
and
know Flash is
Batman's
a
up.
girl. I mean, wait, what?
Flash is slow.
True.
Do you want to hear something absolutely hilarious? You know how there's different versions of Flash, right?
Yeah.
Like Wally West, who I guess is the fastest. The amount of videos I see of like Wally West Flash versus anime characters, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Wally West might be faster than Goku, but he is not stronger. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Anyway, DC.
Yep. Anyways, I'm gonna preface this entire episode by saying
Neither of us know what we're
not
talking
number one, but like one of the highest trending things on Twitter right now is fire James Gunn. If you don't know who James Gunn is, he is basically the main head of the DCEU, the DC Extended
So like
Universe.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah, like Kevin Feige
DC.
for now. He hasn't been in the past, and as far as I know, there's a lot of drama about whether people want him to be, because Jack Snyder was in charge of a lot of it for a time, and then James Gunn took over. And people like Zack Snyder. They thought he was good. And now James Gunn is here, and Fire James Gunn is trending on Twitter. So, you know,
Oof.
it's not great. So before we get into what's happening
what
now, we
movies
should go over.
was he in charge of?
So basically, think of like the whole connected universe they have going right now, right? The Man of Steel, the oh my gosh, I don't, there wasn't a Batman, so that would be then Aquaman and the 2 Wonder Woman.
There
movies.
wasn't a Batman? I thought
There was a Batman, but that's not connected to the universe apparently. I don't know.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that was apparently its own little thing. But then also the Justice League movie.
Yeah. Which nobody liked until Snyder Cut came out, which was better, but people still didn't like, I think.
It's
don't know.
been rough. The Flash movie that's coming out was supposed to be part of this universe, but from the looks of it, it's about to be rebooted, so
Thank God.
maybe it might be rebooted. We'll see. But
Well, I think if it is, what everyone's been saying is even if it is rebooted, this new Flash will still be part of it, and they're going to use it, like, do some Flash
that's
time,
what people hope
like,
for.
Flash
There's
point.
literally no way of knowing.
No, but that's literally what I think everything that I've heard of about DC has been that. Let's hope so.
Let's go over these past movies. What of those ones that I just mentioned have you seen?
I've seen Man of Steel. I've seen Aquaman. I've seen Justice League. I don't know if I don't know which one I've seen. If it's Snyder Cut or the original.
One is an hour. One is 2 hours, and one is like 4 hours. So.
But like I saw them both years ago. Whichever one I saw years ago. So
it probably would have been the original.
I think it is, but I don't know. Wonder Woman. I saw. I didn't see 1984 Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new one, but I did see the other one. What else is there? I think that's really it.
So we're pretty much in the same boat then. I have seen Man of Steel. I have seen both the Wonder Womans. I've seen Aquaman. I've seen some of the Justice League. I didn't sit down and watch it because I don't care enough about DC. But
I think Man of Steel is my favorite movie, DC movie.
that's fair. Yeah, it's... Okay, so for starters, they're not great visually. I think in terms of DC versus Marvel, even
more
with
like
the current
mid-C.
Marvel quality, I still think it's better than DC.
Yeah.
DC looks very much CGI, and they go heavy on reflections, and that's just like not great.
Even if it wasn't that, story-wise, what are they doing?
Yeah, there's not much story substance at all in general. I feel
It's
like
so
the one with the
confusing.
most story was probably the Wonder Woman movies, and even then, I just like it's still lacking in some way.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know how to build a story the same way that Marvel does, and they do it really well.
I'm trying to remember all these movies. I literally don't think I've seen a DC movie since Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Because what else is there?
Yeah.
I feel like for DC, the big thing is the CW. I think that's where I'm into
Oh, yeah.
this.
100%.
Into DC, it's the CW.
I think that's
As of lately,
genuinely more
no.
popular than the Justice League stuff. Like at this
almost
point,
absolutely.
I think it has more
Almost.
views.
Of those, I think some of the original, like the old Justice League shows and
Yeah.
stuff, and some of the old movies are still bigger. Like the original Superman are honestly, let's be real. The old Superman, like the classic, like 4, is probably did better than some of these new.
I mean, people
DC
still like
movies.
the Batman movies too, the Dark
Yeah.
Knight ones.
So yeah, but for me, it's the CW. That's really, as of lately, not so much. But
Yeah.
that's a whole other thing.
I love the Flash show. Green Arrow was also great. DC Legends of Tomorrow went to trash very quickly. Supergirl
It had,
was
like, a
good and
season
then
or
went to
two.
trash.
It had a season or two. Flash had like 4 or so seasons, and then it got repetitive, and Iris just got on my nerves. I feel like DC has a trend. I think DC has a trend. They start off well, then they go to trash.
Yeah, because Man of Steel was great.
It was the original Batman. That was great.
Yeah.
Not like like the Dark Knight stuff. So wait, those aren't. I thought that the actor was the same.
What?
Are those
Dark
not-
Knight stuff?
Yeah, I thought that Batman was the same, wasn't he?
I don't think so.
I thought it was the
The
same.
new
Google
the
check.
Batman that just came out, I think, is
No, not the
same.
new Batman. No, not that one. I'm talking like the one that was like in Justice League and the Dark Knight. I thought were the same.
Well, even if it's the same actor, I don't think those movies are connected to.
But like that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like what about Batman versus Superman? Like there's
That's
all
another one of the
this
things too, because
plot.
they keep using actors from old movies, but also they're not canon. So it's like, why are you using the same actor if it's a different character? It confuses the audience, and that's not good at all for publicity.
Like Batman versus Superman. Are you telling me this Batman, all these Batman, and this specific Batman fought Superman, but they're not connected?
Yeah, it's
Really?
Yep.
Oh gosh. Please. Can we reset DC?
Yeah, well, here, let's jump to that. Okay, so recently, people have been talking, and I believe what happened is there is some form of new management in DC. I don't know if it's James Gunn. I don't think it's James Gunn. But somebody in there is, like... I think Wonder Woman 3 was, quote-unquote, put on pause. And then the rest of them were like straight up canceled and scrapped. Like there was a Catwoman movie that was supposed to come out, another Batman movie that was supposed to come out. I think Flash was supposed to have a sequel at some point, but that was kind of in the air due to the actors' drama and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with the what's it's called, the Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Lots of drama going on.
Yeah. There was meant to be a Black Adam sequel that got canceled. The Superman sequel got canceled. So they're pretty much
Superman
doing.
sequel?
Yep. we can get to that in a second. But it's kind of chaos in their area right now because all of those movies were like at least 50% done. Not in terms of filming, but in terms of writing, casting, like all that kind of stuff. And they just all got vetoed. So,
Damn.
the suspicion is that they are going to do a full reset, but then they're also kind of keeping some actors. Some actors are still under contract, so like it's very confusing what they're trying to do right now.
See, one thing I've been seeing a lot now is, I forget the name of the Superman actor. I've been seeing different roles he can play in the MCU.
Uh-huh.
People have been like, oh, he'd be perfect for this, like the Superman. But then there's also, like, this British, like, villain or character or something.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. So, he's in The Witcher, right? He's The Witcher, and people loved him as The Witcher, right?
Yes.
Witcher Season 4 is currently being made. He quit the show so that he could come and play Superman full-time again, right? And
I
think they replaced him with Thor's brother.
Liam? No.
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Liam.
I think that's who he got replaced by, and Henry Cavill is coming back to play Superman. They had him announce it and everything. It was a big thing. And now, it was either today, yesterday, sometime this week, whatever. He's not Superman. At all. For anything upcoming. He released a statement saying, guys, don't be mad at them. It's okay. It's completely fine, but everybody's still pissed. Because now he's not in The Witcher. He's not Superman.
So you're telling me the person that everyone liked as Superman and the person that everyone liked as The Witcher quit the job as a Witcher so he could enjoy his other role, and then he was told no because that Superman got canceled, but they already recasted for The Witcher, so he can't go back to The Witcher.
Uh-huh.
Okay, even if Marvel isn't great, at least they are clear.
Yeah.
With what the hell they are doing.
And
at least there's a
the
clear
end of Black
path.
Adam, because Black Adam's whole thing was he's eventually going to go up against Superman. Like that was The Rock's plan for Black Adam. He wanted him to go up against Superman.
That ain't happening.
In the end credit scene of Black Adam, to my understanding, Henry Cavill makes a cameo. He's there as Superman. And that was supposed to be like the big, oh, he's coming back as Superman, guys. Well, guess what? He's not coming back as Superman now, so Black Adam 2 got canceled because that was the whole premise of the movie. And people think that The Rock is completely done with DC now because he unfollowed the Black Adam pages on all social media. And why would he do that if that's his character?
I would be mad too. I'd
Yeah,
be mad if I set up an
be
entire
pissed.
thing to fight Superman, and then like, yeah, we don't have a Superman anymore.
Yeah.
We had a Superman. He quit his job to be Superman, but we're not gonna have a Superman anymore.
Yep. So, you know, he's probably done with DC. So both Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill might head over to Marvel soon. We'll see.
I mean, hey, maybe Dwayne The Rock Johnson can spend some more time as Foundation.
Totally.
Yo, hold up. Let's get Superman in here too. Voice acting.
Yep,
He's the visitor. No, he's the visitor.
When in doubt, go to Fortnite.
Everything links back to Fortnite, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Other than like just the rumors of like the reset and you know, Superman going over to Marvel, I don't know much. But I think the general premise is DC is shit right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Pardon
there's
my
more.
French, but, like-
There's more. Guess what? The
No.
the Flash movie with all its drama, they cut out both the I think it was Superman and Wonder Woman cameos, which causes people to believe that Wonder Woman 3, which was set to be a movie, is just like completely not happening anymore. They're just leaving her story on that beat. They're not going to try and conclude it. So Wonder Woman 3 is probably also just completely done, not on pause anymore. So that portion is also out. And then there's
And that's
suspicion,
whenever this movie gets finished.
Yeah.
Who
There's
knows when that's
suspicion
happening.
to oh gosh, here. Let me check this one real quick cuz it's very unsure.
I knew DC was struggling a bit, but like I thought they had something.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They have nothing. They're losers. They're pathetic.
Big surprise.
That's all I've gotten from
So
this.
apparently, people are saying that Aquaman 2 is going to be Jason Momoa's swan song movie. That's like going to be his last acting gig ever.
But Amber Heard,
Yeah?
I very highly doubt she's.
So it's possible that Jason Momoa is probably done.
Now, because clearly it doesn't sound like they're doing any other movies.
Yeah. He might like straight up retire though, so who knows?
Honestly, I can't remember. I only really know him there. What other big roles has he done?
Yeah, let me click his acting page. Let's see here. IMDb. He's in Game of Thrones apparently.
Okay, well that makes sense. That's a big role to spend a lot of time on.
He's in Dune.
Okay.
What else do we got here?
What?
He's
February?
apparently a cameo in Peacemaker.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that movie completely.
Honestly, this has been his biggest thing. Like, he's Aquaman in a lot of things.
Yeah, it's mostly been Aquaman. Like I said, Game of Thrones is definitely big. Baywatch.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything else that I recognize, though, really.
Fast and Furious, he was in one.
Stargate?
Minecraft? I looked it up on Google, and I go to the movies and TV shows, and then there's Minecraft the movie.
Ah, yes, definitely.
There's
He's
no
Steve.
year.
He's Steve.
So confused.
Anyways, yeah. So, who knows at this point?
Yeah. That's rough.
They've put themselves in a very, very tough spot.
Lego Movie and Sonic.
Jolly.
Anyway, that sucks for him. I don't think that movie's happening. I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah, I don't.
But from the sounds of it, I don't think. No. Even if they're like, have the actors and everything, and they quit their jobs, that doesn't mean anything.
So I guess the way we go from here is we're probably hoping that they reboot it in a whole new thing, whole new actors, which is unfortunate. I did like the actors for these roles; they are very iconic for these roles.
Except Flash. I didn't really like the actor.
He's not great.
No. And that was before the drama. I just didn't like him in the original. I honestly think my favorite Flash, out of like animated or not, is what's his name? CW Flash. Yeah.
He's great.
Whatever. I think he's my favorite. It sucks because, like, again, like writing, actor-wise, he's great. Story-wise and script-wise, not so great.
Yeah.
But he pulls it off.
Yeah. It'll be sad though to watch Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, and oh gosh, what's her face? Wonder Woman. I know her name. I'm just drawing a blank.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think the worst part about that is, though?
What?
They're not getting a farewell.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man and Captain America, their contract was finished. They were done, but they got a nice farewell. Same thing with Thor. Hulk is passing on the torch. These guys are just like, yeah, I quit my job. I'm gonna go be Superman to fight Black Adam because that's the whole thing that everyone's looking for. Nope, I'm gone. Superman's gone.
Really no
whole
conclusion.
New story for anyone. I don't think anyone has a conclusion. What happened with Cyborg? Was Cyborg ever gonna get a movie or a show or something?
I don't know.
I wanted to mind that.
Yeah.
Bro.
Who knows at this point?
I forgot that is Cyborg normally in the Justice League?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Because I know he's in Teen Titans. That's why I thought he was more Teen Titans.
Yeah, I think he's Justice League. Because he was in the Justice League movie.
Well, yeah, he's in the Justice League movie, but like when I'm trying to remember the old shows, like he wasn't in the old animated Justice League shows, so. This is fun.
Yeah, it's
so.
tough.
So.
Where do we hope it's gonna go?
But okay, before we give our hopes, so what you're telling me is DC sucks. They canceled everything, and we have absolutely no idea what's happening next. We have no idea what movies are actually going to happen or what aren't happening. We have no idea what they want to do with the whole universe. We have no idea who the actors are going to be. We just know they're just done.
Yep.
Okay, just double checking that we're on the same page.
Yep.
Well, where I hope it goes. Good. I think that's a valid statement.
Yeah.
Reset it. Yes, please. Like, it sucks that we're not getting the same actors, but like the whole confusing statement of like, I legitimately didn't realize that the Batman weren't canon.
Yeah.
Like, that is so stupid. Like,
honestly, I think they should formulate it kind of like how the MCU Phase 1 went, right? Come out with one movie to spearhead it and have that character not necessarily complete an arc, but have 1 to 2 movies before you even come out with your Justice League movie, right?
Like, have a Batman or Superman, because those are definitely the main character.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you want to start it with. Then maybe get another one, because I'm trying to think, before we got Avengers, we technically had Hulk.
We had Iron Man 1 and 2.
2. We had Thor and Captain America.
Yeah. So give each of the core, like, 4 characters of the Justice League their own movie, and maybe one of them gets a sequel. And then have
Batman or Superman get 2, get the other person 1, get an Aquaman, and then Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Probably those characters, and then we'd have some extra ones like Cyborg sprinkled in.
Probably Batman
and Flash. Yeah.
Batman would be the core one. But then, yeah, have your Justice League movie where it's a similar assembly of the team. Like, maybe even an origin of the Justice League. Because I don't think we've had an origin per se, right? Because they've been a team before in the Justice League movie, haven't they? Like, they've worked with each other.
Partially, but like I remember in the movie he was going around trying to pick up, like he heard fish stories, like he never met Aquaman before this.
That's true, yeah.
So in that one, I think that's really the only one in like current media. Like we have the original like stuff, but like in current media, that's really the only Justice League live action Justice League we have.
Yeah. So have it formulate, have it reassemble. And then maybe after
League
that
reassemble.
Move on
that should be the title.
Move on to a second phase where you introduce the smaller Justice League characters like
Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg. And,
who else? Is Green Lantern?
Green Lantern. I could very much see he needs help.
Yeah. Should we get Ryan Reynolds back though?
I don't think he'd want to.
That's fair. Probably Flash.
Yeah. So then they all come in like the phase 2, and then maybe have your phase 2 assembly movie be Batman versus Superman, right? Kind of like how we had Civil War, that was a little bit later on for Marvel, but I think Batman versus Superman is a big turning point for Justice League anything, so have that be there.
See, I just don't want them to copy Marvel too much. Like, I don't want them to like, the phase 1 is pretty much a blatant copy of Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, like, there's not much else to go off of. The reason they have not succeeded is because they didn't structure it like Marvel did. They didn't have enough foundation to work off of, and that it collapsed in on itself.
See, I almost wonder, I feel like for that, I feel like it could have done better if they tried to not do what Marvel did. Because I feel like you said, like, they didn't structure it. Like, if they structured it at the beginning, it probably would have been fine. But I almost wonder if they did more just solo movies. Like, obviously we can have big ones, but does it, like, does it have to be linked? Do they have to have, like, can we just bring in the actor for Aquaman into Justice League?
I mean,
I'd say lead into
have it be
the
same
Aquaman
world,
movie?
but I could very much see it only have crossovers be the Justice League movies, and then everything else is a solo story not really related to the other characters. Because every Marvel production at this point is interlinked with another one. So maybe like, have the Superman movies be completely separate from the Batman movies. Like maybe an off comment because they exist in the same world, but do not have a cameo unless it like crucially matters for the next Justice League movie.
or if it's just a funny cameo.
Yeah.
Like we just see Superman buying a hot dog in the background. That's not too big, but like don't blatantly like have a team up, because I think that's one way they can succeed is by not just copying Marvel and being their own thing. Because I think that's the problem. They didn't, and then they tried to, and they failed. So just try to stick it out and consistently be their own thing. I think that can make them succeed more.
Yeah.
Because I do like the Marvel, formula, but I don't just want to see the Marvel formula with DC characters.
Yeah, no, that's
not going to make them succeed either, because then they're going to be like, yeah, we failed, Marvel did better, let's just do what Marvel did. That's not really going to be beneficial for them either.
It's tough being in a post-MCU world, right? The Infinity Saga has concluded, and now if they try and do practically anything close to that, people will just yell at them for copying.
Or like, you try, or you don't have a linked world, and then you're like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Where's this character?
Popularity just kind of suffers then, because think about it, the biggest theater things that have ever happened recently
are
Marvel crossovers. Like, that is the thing that people want to see. Like, the Spider-Verse movie is gonna absolutely explode because it's a huge crossover.
The next big thing people want to see is the Secret Wars, the next big crossover, like, versus Big Bad.
So if DC does do this solo movie project, they have to find a way to make everybody interested in each individual character. And that's where I think they struggle, because the cameos are kind of what carried Marvel, right? Even if I wasn't interested in the Incredible Hulk, there was a character in it from Iron Man, right? I need to see what happened with that Iron Man character. And that's what sold tickets to some of those movies, right? You want to see the overarching story. So
you want to see how it's interconnected through movie to movie, show to show.
So if DC doesn't do that, they have to find a way to make everybody interested in each character. And I, for one, am definitely not interested in certain DC characters. So I wouldn't go to see each individual movie. Now, then again, if they do have the team-up movies, then it kind of makes it important to see some of those core foundations. But I'm not going to care as much about the character itself, because it doesn't relate to the characters I do care about.
I also hope they care about a little bit more of the other characters. Like Batman gets so much love. Superman gets so much love. No matter what, those movies are going to sell.
Yeah.
Whether they're good movies or not, people want to see another Batman Superman. They always will.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman, Flash,
okay, Wonder Woman has been getting a lot of love.
It has been, but like, how many people do you know have seen every single Batman movie from the old days, including, and like loves Batman versus Wonder Woman?
I mean, that's fair.
Like, yes, they're doing well because
I feel like
some of the
Cyborg,
only good
Green
movies.
Lantern, and
Flash
I feel
are
like very much under the radar.
Aquaman, I think, did pretty well, but who knows?
I like what they were doing in the CW. You know, they brought in all these DC characters that not many people know about. Like Green Arrow, he's a prominent character in the comics, to my knowledge at least. So they brought him up and gave him a show, kind of like what Marvel's doing now with the Disney Plus
and all
shows,
these other characters.
They're kind of lifting them up, giving them their own shows, and I think that is a fantastic formula to use. They just have to have a solid foundation for it first, and they don't have that.
Yeah, Marvel set that up with the whole first stage, and now it's super easy to have a show off in this town or something, because we know it's there.
They've set up the Infinity Saga so that now we have a world that we live in, we have a team of heroes, and now we can go off and see these smaller heroes in their smaller cities and towns, smaller universes, and see how they would relate to the overarching story. It makes it a lot more interesting, and they have things to build off of, you know?
I think a perfect example of having this like seamless connection is Ant-Man. It's like, don't go dropping a town or something stupid, like, and having like certain characters. That's like a perfect example of having this cross world, but it's not super heavy. Like, it's not like everything.
I mean,
right, but you can clearly tell it's the same world.
Yeah, with Marvel, the end of the Infinity Saga had the snap, right? The blip, as they call it. So every show that now takes place references the blip, and that is their solid foundation, right? That's where we have to build off of.
Yeah.
And DC at this point, the only solid thing they've ever had is the CW, and that's because it's all based off of one show. From Green Arrow, we got Flash.
It was called the Arrowverse
Yeah.
at this point.
Uh-huh.
Like, I still think it's kind of called the Arrowverse. I know that's kind of what I see it as, because it was originally the Arrow, then the Flash joined.
Barry
and then we
Allen
had
was
some
a
other
friend
ones.
of Oliver Queen, and then Barry
Before he was
Allen
the
met
Flash.
Supergirl, and then Supergirl and Flash kind of all everything folded off to DC Legends of Tomorrow. And then I think there's like Black Lightning now, which was, as far as I know,
But now,
referenced in the
in
Flash.
like the end, now afterwards, there's Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever, where Oliver Queen died, and now all of them are on the same planet, like literally the same planet. Like Planet 1 has Superman, it has Supergirl, it has Flash, all of those. Like that's kind of where we base off now when you watch these shows. Like I remember the one scene in one of the Flash fights, like he was going crazy because he was gonna lose his power or something. I don't know. And he went to the Justice, like the Hall of Justice or something, to meet Black Lightning. Like that's kind of like the blip. Now it's after this crisis that we base it off of in the CW.
So they had a foundation. If you look at the Justice League stuff here,
there's
the
nothing.
movies, there's literally nothing. We have a Superman movie that wasn't planning on setting up a big universe like this. Then we have a Batman movie that may or may not be canon. We still don't know. We have Wonder Woman movies that don't link whatsoever to the other movies, but are apparently in the same universe. We have, what else do we have? We have Aquaman, who kind of was in the Justice League movie and then was never referenced again. It's like they just didn't try. It's like they decided halfway through these movies that, hey, we should make this universe connected, guys, and then went back and like added some references.
Honestly, yeah. Like, honestly, I can see that. Like, they just didn't, and then like, let's make it. Then they go back, watch the old movies, and they're referencing these, but they didn't reference the new stuff in the old. They referenced the old stuff in the new.
Yeah.
They didn't plan it. They didn't like put these little eggs in there to like Easter eggs or something to like look for.
Yeah.
It's just here now.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for them to be sitting right now.
Even though I like Marvel more, Superman is still one of my favorite. Like, I always like, I talked about this in the Marvel episodes, I always like the heroes that are more human. Even if they're not human, they're more human. Like Batman, that's not normal, right? Iron Man, that's not normal. There's no person that has a crazy suit that can fly and that can take bullets with nanotech, right? But he is human. But of the superpowered individuals of DC and Marvel, I think Superman's like one of my favorite. Like his just ideology of not killing, like pacifism, like justice, truth. It's one of my favorites. And like just the whole dynamic of seeing like these old shows and like Batman like just being serious. Like I remember I've seen this clip so many times. Like he goes over all his plans to destroy the Justice League in case they go evil. And do you know what the plan is to defeat Batman? Superman. Like, that's how much you trust him. Like, there's really cool dynamics in DC, and I really want them to succeed. Even though I'm not gonna, like, primarily watch DC, I don't think we're gonna have binge-a-thons of watching the entire DC, you know, timeline in order or something. But I do want to see some DC movies.
Yeah.
I want to see a Man of Steel again. I want to see that type of movie again.
Yeah, I mean, I know a highly popular show among the DC community is Smallville.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Smallville, I haven't seen it, but I've seen parts of it.
I also have not seen it, but everybody talks so highly about it, and I think
great.
that's because it was structured correctly.
Ha. And it's funny because Smallville was in the Flash, like in that whole final crisis. They actually went there, and Lex Luthor was going around killing Supermans, and he met that one, and he lost his powers so he can have kids with Lois Lane. And now, apparently, from what I understand, you know this new Superman show is in Smallville.
Fun.
Smallville's great. I really want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's older, so it's kind of harder to find somewhere to watch it.
Yeah.
But.
Yep.
But hey, I think what we can learn is structure's important, and DC has none.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
The DC cinematic universe specifically, not just DC as a whole. Like the comics, they're fine. I think the DC comics aren't DC comics are absolutely fine. I do not think there's anything wrong with them. The CW, I think, is going downhill, but they have some kind of premise. They know what they are. The DC cinematic universe is trash. It has nothing. Like, they're just kind of throwing things together.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that we have this actor that played Batman, then grew as Batman with character development, and then fights Superman from a different series of Superman movies, and they're not the same.
Yeah, it's confusing. They lack foundation.
They lack a lot of things.
Yes, they do. So
do we have? I don't know.
What's a hero that if they rebooted everything, you would want to see get more spotlight?
Flash. Flash is. I love speed. When it comes to characters, fantasy, real, whatever. Speed. Speed is like one of my favorite powers, especially Flash. Like, there's one thing to be fast, but the Speed Force is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Time travel with the regeneration and everything. It's really interesting, and I loved it in the CW with that whole God world with all the different elements and the Speed Force being a person. I love that. So I would love to see the Flash get more spotlight, especially if it is a different actor.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I hope if they do, like, put more spotlight on Flash, they don't make it like the one they have now. The one they have now is like that snarky, jokey character, kind of like Peter Parker, but like not as funny in general. He's just kind of like a brat. I hope they very much make it like the CW's Flash, where he kind of actually has a heart, still makes jokes, but you know, it's a lot more sensible.
See, I think it's one thing is kind of like seeing like different versions of Spider-Man, seeing different versions of Flash, like who Flash is supposed to be. First off, it depends on which Flash we're talking about. Is the Flash going to be Wally West? Is the Flash going to be Barry Allen? Right? But then once we go from there, like, I really like the scientific Barry Allen from the CW.
Yeah.
Like, scientist, forensic. That's not the DC cinematic universe at all. Like, Spider-Man, right? Like, you have the teenage, but you also have, like, the adult science, right? Like, you have all these different types. It all depends on... I really want the scientific. That's another reason why I like that, right? Like, I like Spider-Man, you know, scientific. I like Flash because of that nerdy aspect to it. So if we do get that, I also hope it's more nerdy, like he's a scientist, whether that's in forensic, like CW, or just a general scientist in his downtime. Yeah.
I very much think that is something that would immensely help the Flash's character. Because, you know,
and help DC.
I don't think he has like a good character trait in general apart from that, right? Like he seems like just your textbook goofball without having like an interest. So I think adding like this scientific factor to him makes him a little bit more interesting. It makes him seem like he's not just some stupid kid.
Yeah, and I think another thing with that is the fact that if it continues to be Barry Allen, I don't know much about the comics, but I feel like Barry Allen isn't that big. Like, he's not that fast compared to a lot of these other speedsters. So like when we talk about the Flash, like the old Justice League show that I keep talking about, it's Wally West.
Yeah,
that's the Flash. It's not Kid Flash, but like it's the Flash.
Yeah.
So if we get Barry Allen as our Flash again, he needs that scientific thing, because I don't really know anything else about that Flash.
I feel like it's kind of locked in at this point that the Flash is Barry Allen, and then anybody else like Wally West that comes in will have a different name, like
Kid Flash
or
something,
Reverse Flash, something else Flash.
Godspeed.
Yeah. There's other characters, but I think Barry Allen is, for branding purposes, kind of locked in as the Flash.
Yeah. Who else? I guess Cyborg would be pretty cool.
I honestly don't know almost anything about him. Like, I've seen Teen Titans Go, so like that's not a great picture.
Teen Titans Go. Just throw that out. That's not comic book accurate whatsoever. The original Teen Titans, I feel like, is something you can base off of,
haven't
which
seen
I
any
have
of that.
seen. Which I have seen, and even then, you still don't know much about those characters. So.
Yeah.
I think Cyborg could be cool.
I mean, he seems like an interesting character, but, you know, they just haven't fleshed him out enough.
I think it depends on how they do his creation again. Because wasn't the DC cinematic universe, his dad was a scientist and experimented on the spaceship from Superman's fights and then upgraded him with that?
I don't even know.
Like, I don't think that's how Cyborg was created. So I think the big thing is, if they do something with Cyborg, at least create a better creation or origin of Cyborg.
And don't make him look like some sort of CGI mesh, please.
No.
Because the DCEU one was just not good. He looked like Terminator with a face.
Yeah, not wrong. Did you see that one short I sent you?
No.
That animated? No?
No.
It was funny. It was Batman being the leader of the Justice League. And then everyone's like bashing. It's like, money. It's like, I pay for everything. This is really good real estate. They're in space.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, we pay time to time. It's like, I own the building you work out. You pay me with my own money. That's Superman. And then Flash is over here like, don't you need a power? And then Batman, Batman's like, your enemy freezes the floor and then you slip on it. You have a seasonal villain. And then do you know what he says to Green Lantern? Your weakness is yellow. And he's like, Batman, what are you gonna do against if a meteor hits? Hit it with a batarang? Okay, I'll give you that. This is Batman. I'll give you that. I'll need your help. But what happens if someone's mugging and all yellow?
Yep.
It's great, but some of these characters need a little bit more redesign.
Yeah.
Because as of now, that's really all I know about Green Lantern, and I feel like Green Lantern's such an interest. All we see is him being stupid, in the show, he's fighting Darkseid, and he literally runs at him with a train made out of his ring. That's not
I mean, here's the thing though. I feel like Green Lantern is such a solo specific character that if he's fighting anything else, he practically doesn't have a weakness. Because his weakness is, it's not really just the color yellow, it's the yellow lantern energy.
The yellow lantern.
So if there is no yellow lantern enemy, then he has no weakness.
I think it is the color yellow.
I don't think it is.
Because in this show, they literally pull out a stop sign, like the yield sign, and reversed the beam back with the yield sign.
Well, here's the thing though. Then on Earth, none of his powers would work because UV light is yellow.
But fantasy fictional logic, it does that. They kind of just throw that out the window. Light's actually blue.
Sure.
No, I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like Green Lantern, I really like these other ones. I like the Flash, but I know enough about him. There's a whole arc. Again, I'm gonna keep referencing because I've seen this show so much, and this is really I think my favorite of Justice League. There's the Flash, right? And there's specific characters, but Justice League, this animated show, is one of my favorite. And there's a whole arc where he has to go on trial.
Yeah.
And he goes to the Lantern Corps on trial, and it's really cool. And there's all these different types of Green Lanterns. It's not just a specific person. It's this, not class. What would you call it? Police officer.
Yeah.
Something like that. Role in the universe, and a whole bunch of people are Green Lanterns. But I don't remember Yellow Lantern much in that, so I wouldn't mind seeing some of that too.
Mm-hmm. I looked up the role of Cyborg in the comics, and apparently he's the chief technician and gadgeteer, and he handles electronic security for their tower hideout. So, I mean, a gadgeteer character is always great,
Fun, yeah. If it's done right.
It seems like, though, they kind of wanted him to be more of just a powerhouse, because they made his whole body a mech. It didn't seem like they gave him intelligence, per se.
I don't think he did anything smart. It was all Batman.
Mm-hmm. I think very much if they embrace that side, make him a scientific role, have him be inventing stuff all the time.
Hopefully. We're talking about what you want, but from what I've heard about the DC Cinematic Universe, they don't really care what the fans want.
So Seth, you're telling me it makes sense.
So it's not gonna happen. like I said, I want them to succeed. I want to see like Man of Steel. Like I want to see that tier again. Because honestly, I think Man of Steel beats almost all of Phase 4 for me. For Marvel, movie wise. Like even some of these other ones, like I think it's better than almost all the Thor movies. I think I'd prefer to watch Man of Steel than any of the Thor movies. Like I just like it that much. And we have not had anything close to that. Wonder Woman's been good, but I don't think it's as good as Man of Steel. So I would love to see some great movies like The Dark Knight, like that Bane, the one I forget which one it was with Bane as the villain. That was such a good movie. And now we have the Joker, which is all crazy and just looks really weird.
Which he's getting a second movie. Did you know that?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that Joker. I haven't seen that movie, but like I kind of like other versions of the Joker than that. Like the one where he kidnapped Damian, and then like Damian was supposed to shoot Batman, shot him, and then they go crazy. This is another animated. This is probably the same one. Yeah, but I haven't seen the new Batman, but I don't think I'm gonna like it as much as like Dark Knight. It's just DC, you dug your own grave. I'm sorry.
Very much so. They have.
I feel like anything they do, I don't know if they can come back. Because even if they do reboot it, we're not gonna have the classic actors, right? We're not gonna have. The
I
Batman
think
that
what they
loves.
need
We're not
to
gonna have
do,
the Superman that people
as
love.
much as it would hurt them, I think what they need to do is just take a break. Like take 5 years and just don't make
Plan it
movies
out.
or shows or anything, and then come back with a plan. And everybody will be like, "Oh, it's been 5 years. Let's see what DC's up to." They can
But
start
JJ.
off strong.
But JJ, that would help them, which makes sense.
No, just no.
I'm sorry, but no. No, that's a possibility. It's a possibility, but yeah, no, I don't see it.
Yeah, honestly, they're too money hungry. I don't think they'd go for that.
No, they don't care about the fans at all. Marvel has some decency.
I mean, we've ignored the best DC movie that's come in the past few years.
Which one?
Shazam.
I haven't seen Shazam yet.
Oh, bro, it's so
I
good.
want to
It's
so
so
bad.
good.
It looks good.
It's great. I
Wait.
loved it. Zachary Levi nailed it.
Was there Shazam 2 or was that
It's being made.
Black
It's
Adam?
being made. Shazam 2 is being made. Black
And it's
Adam,
Black Adam,
no,
right?
Black Adam is technically a Shazam villain, but Dwayne Johnson didn't want that to happen, which kind of angered people because he's technically like Shazam's final boss, and they just kind of disconnected him from Shazam completely.
Look at their character design. It's the same.
He even
it's like
turned
Flash
down
versus
a
Reverse
cameo
Flash.
in Shazam 2. It wouldn't even have been a huge thing. It would have been a cameo, and he turned it down.
Okay, I really like The Rock, but like
That-
The Rock just
yeah.
lost some points.
That's
for me. The
just
Rock
not
just lost
good.
some points for me. Like that's like, bro.
I think I'm not sure if he actually said this, but I saw somebody on Twitter, I think, reporting it, and they said he made a statement like, I'm only here to play in the big leagues. As if Shazam wasn't one of the highest grossing DC movies ever.
Not to mention, doesn't he rival Superman sometimes? Like, doesn't he spar with Superman?
Yeah. Superman made a cameo appearance in Shazam 1.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, even if it wasn't money, like if it's power, like I get that he wouldn't want to be in a Green Arrow one, right? But like Shazam,
You come
brings in
from
money.
that universe. You are his final boss, and he interacts with Superman anyway.
Bro. I'm
that
sorry,
would've been
Rock. You just
so
lost some
great.
points for me. I know you're not listening, but you just lost some points for me.
Yeah.
The only way you can get them back is by being better Foundation. Honestly, just be more Foundation. That's all I want.
Definitely.
Um,
But no, that movie was fantastic. Like, they nailed that one. They had the action down. They had great comedy.
The comedy was great.
Yeah,
Every
acting was
clip that I've seen.
fantastic. Story was the story was technically it was a little bit stereotypical. Few tropes, but they covered it up enough with like the side plots and the relationships that it was hard to tell.
Plus, with that, like, another thing I see, again, I'm gonna bring up this one. I don't think it's the same one, but another Justice League show. It's like pulling up the idea of like the trust with Shazam, with him not revealing that he is a kid.
Yeah.
And of course, Batman knows, but you know, Batman knows everything.
Yeah.
But like, I would love to see that in the DC cinematic universe, like that relationship, like that plot twist of revealing that he's a kid to the other heroes, to Superman, to Batman, to Wonder Woman.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen because, you know.
Well, no, that's not gonna happen with this one.
Yeah.
Obviously.
They would have to
But,
reboot
like,
the character, and honestly, I don't think anybody's gonna accept a Shazam that's not Zachary Levi at this point.
But like, is he even in the universe? Like, bruh.
Yeah.
The whole point of DC is that everything's not linked, so if they want to link it, they can, because there's nothing stopping them.
Yep.
Which isn't a good thing.
Yep.
So what good can we take away from this episode, JJ?
Constructive criticism is helpful. Everybody go and tweet this, send this to DC.
Constructive criticism is helpful when they listen.
Uh-huh.
Which I don't think they've done ever.
Everybody go tweet this episode at DC. We got to get this to them, you know? Let them hear this.
Let's hear this high school and college kid rant about how crap the DC cinematic universe is and glorify Marvel.
I mean, it's only the truth.
The truth hurts, DC. The truth hurts.
It does.
You know what? Honestly, DC's under Warner Brothers, right? What if Warner Brothers just pays a big sum of money and pays Kevin Feige to fix it, not to direct it? Actually, what if they paid Kevin Feige to give him some tips on the new cinematic universe?
Honestly, that'd help him so much. Like, genuinely.
Pay him, not as a director, but what if he just kind of how over the shoulder, just kind of be like, okay, that works. Maybe change this. Maybe do this.
Like a consultant.
Yeah. What if they did that with if they rebooted it?
That would fix a lot of problems, actually. Like, they need that small scale guidance for a lot of things, because they have something there. Like, they know how to write a story for the most part. They just don't know how to act on that, how to put it out there, because the comics are good.
Yeah, like I said, the comics are great for DC, probably better than certain Marvel ones. It's up there. But movie wise, they're just not there.
Yeah.
They just need to go off of that. I think for the most part, the actors are fine, but they just need better script writing. But again, they need a better foundation. They need a better way to link them if they want to. They need a better way to solo them if they want to do it that way. And I feel like Kevin Feige would know what to do, since he's literally perfected it. When people think about what we're talking about in this whole episode is done well by Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances of that? Obviously, that is a brilliant idea. But what are the chances of that happening? I don't know Kevin Feige all too well. I don't know Kevin Feige too well, but obviously he has a lot going on with Secret Wars coming up in a year or so. So he has a lot planning out right now.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So that's a lot on his plate. So even if he wanted to, I don't even know if he could. Not because he doesn't want to, just because he has too much going on. Especially because it's Marvel. They're one of the biggest franchises. Even if he wanted to help DC to succeed, that's not going to benefit him compared to increasing Marvel more. Who else would there be? Is there another person that's kind of there at that same light of Kevin Feige that can help DC? Is there someone that can help
honestly,
narrate them, guide them?
There are a lot of directors out there that would be perfect for this, but that's the thing, they're directors. It would be hard to get one to sign on to something so huge.
To completely make a whole cinematic universe and align that, especially a size of DC. it's one thing to have a 2-3 movies combined. It's another thing to have DC. Like, you have Aquaman, you have Flash, which are two completely different places. But you also have Batman and Superman. Batman, Gotham, Superman, New York, but they're the same, but they're also completely different with, you have Lex Luthor, but you also have Joker, like, completely different, but also the same.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big task.
Very much so.
Well, there we go. Now that we gave them some constructive criticism, now we've given them a way to fix it. Get someone to, like,
yeah,
help you.
Like, literally a consultant. Like, that would solve it.
That would do so much. But from what I've heard from this episode, I've already said this. Even if they had a consultant, and even if they paid that consultant money, I don't think they'd listen.
Probably not.
Let's be real here. Let's be completely honest. And if DC does listen to this, and we gave you this idea, go with it. But yes, we are calling you out. Just listen to the community, please. We want DC to succeed. We do not want it to fail.
Yeah.
We want good movies.
This is true.
Which is not what
having
you've
two
given us.
universes that can actually compete with each other would be so much better for the movie industry.
Yeah, that's what I say all the time with, like, PlayStation versus Xbox. Whether you like one or not, they help each other grow.
Yeah.
DC's not helping Marvel grow at all. The only thing they're doing is telling Marvel what not to do.
Yeah.
And who not to hire.
Yep.
Like, what are we gonna title this one? DC Fiasco Failure of Epic Proportions?
What's wrong with DC?
Dun dun dun. We're
Yep.
gonna put the dun 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 in the title, though.
Yep.
Do you have any final remarks? DC, get good.
Yeah, get good. Come on.
That's it. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you on the flip side. We need an outro. We have an intro of just us goofing off. Should we make an outro?
I don't know how we'd do that.
I feel like the outro is always just us goofing off too.
True.
JJ, be serious. Let's be serious. Hold up. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Thank you for watching.
No.
this very...
No. Thank you all. No. Thank you all for listening.
Hold up.
Thank you all for listening to this episode of Nerd Rant. If you enjoyed, definitely hit that follow button on Spotify so you never miss a new episode. Make sure to follow
Make sure
us
you
on
follow
our
social media at Nerd Rant Podcast, at Instagram and Twitter. And DC, as a fan, please just delete everything and restart. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye!